Hi, welcome to another video produced by the staff at the Detroit Children's Museum. Many members of our amazing animal kingdom have to consume food. They have to chew their food for proper digestion. It's not what you consume, it's what your body takes into its cells. So proper chewing of food is vital. Well, in today's video, we have some friends that have joined me, some special guests, dinosaur models. Yes, we're going to talk about dinosaurs today. We're going to talk about birds today and how they do what they need to do to assimilate those nutrients into their bodies, right, for good nutrition. We have models and actual replicas or authentic fossils of things like the teeth of some of these dinosaurs you see. Diplodocus, for example, okay? How did it chew its food? When scientists study the teeth of the dinosaur like this, one of our beautiful giant sauropods, it noticed that it had a lot of teeth, or most all of its teeth were of the type that are for ripping, tearing, not chewing. Well, how did these humongous creatures like the Siderosaurus, the Brachiosaurus, another model that we have here, all are sauropods. How did these huge creatures, some in excess of 100,000 pounds, consume enough, digest enough, assimilate the nutrients enough to keep them going without having the proper teeth? Well, modern day birds, okay, do not have teeth. Their ancestors did. The Archaeopteryx, for example, a connection between dinosaurs and modern day birds on the evolution chain of those creatures, had teeth. They were birds or bird-like creatures that had teeth. Most paleontologists, dinosaur scientists, and ornithologists, bird scientists, agree that dinosaurs are the ancient ancestors of modern day birds. So you could say that when you see a bird, you're also seeing a dinosaur. Today we're going to do an activity that models what birds do, what they employ to chew their food, all right? So they can properly digest it. And I will start out with this. Not all birds do this. Some birds, in a sense, don't need to chew their food, even though they don't have teeth. Like the hummingbird, it drinks what? It consumes what for proper nourishment? I hear some answers. I hear the answer of nectar, the flower's elixir of nutrition, the sugar water of the flower, okay? Don't need to chew. Some birds don't do what I'm going to show you or model for you because they have a very strong, muscular stomach, and they have no need to do this. Or they eat things that are so soft, in addition to nectar perhaps, like insects, that they don't have to really chew very well, or at all. They swallow, it goes into their stomach, into the structure we're going to model here. What I have in here is two bags, Ziploc bags. Really easy, you can do this. You can do this with Ziploc, quart size, larger bags, or you can even use, like I've done in my classroom, a small garbage bag, okay? In one bag, I have some sunflower seeds, okay? In another bag, I have a leaf of collard greens, one leaf. The sunflower seeds will model what today's birds, today's modern birds consume. Some consume seeds, like the cardinal, like our beautiful blue jay, both of which stay in Michigan all year round. First, let's model what a bird seed eater would do to chew up some seeds. What birds will do, and these are much larger than a bird like a cardinal would use, is they swallow stones. They swallow small stones, or they eat some grit. What is grit? Is it a combination of sand and something else? Very kind of hard. If you rub it between your fingers and you see that, it's got a hardness to it, its texture, right? Gritty, all right? So let's put some stones in there. What the bag represents is the stomach of the bird. The very, very, very muscular stomach. Okay, very strong. And this section of the stomach is called the gizzard, a pouch-like section of the stomach that is where food is sent. That's not chewed by the birds that do not have teeth. When it eats some food like these seeds, what happens is the muscles contract and they rub the stones, gastroliths in some cases, gizzard stones you could call it, against the seeds, and they help to crush the seed. The gizzard, along with this action of muscular contraction, okay, will try to draw out every single nutrient from these sunflower seeds. And then any part that the animal cannot digest, it will spit out or regurgitate. So you can see that small little or short little demonstration, how effective that muscular action with the addition of these stones, either rocks, small rocks, maybe some grit, maybe even some sand, and with that, in the combination of the two, the action of the two working together can break down, in a sense, chew the seeds for the bird. So you could say that gizzard stones function for the bird the same manner, or very similar manner, as our teeth function for us. We don't have gizzards in that sense. Our stomach is muscular, but not in this sense, where we have to swallow stones. Some animals in our animal kingdom do, like birds. Other animals like reptile, like an alligator, has teeth. An alligator definitely has some teeth, right? But observe how an alligator chews, or consumes its food, I should say. Does it really chew? No. All right, that's a model or an activity that models how a bird with no teeth, how they would chew their food. Well, the Triceratops did the same thing, or a very similar thing. The Triceratops, as we know now, did not have any teeth. All right? So we're going to do the second part, another activity that kind of modeled how the Triceratops, very similar to birds, how modern day birds do. So in its stomach, you now know that this bag represents the stomach. We're going to add some stones, and the Triceratops did swallow stones to send to its gizzard a section of its stomach to aid in the digestion or breaking down of its food, like this coarse leaf. It's a collard green leaf, very coarse and thick, much like they would have eaten back in 65, 66 million years ago. The Triceratops has a very, very sharp beak in its upper and lower jaws. Very good for ripping, tearing off leaves. It's an herbivore, or it was an herbivore. We happen to have in our collection stones that were used in this fashion by animals like the Triceratops. They're called gastroliths. And this, like the birds of today and early birds, would use any kind of rock or stone that they could find. And this happens to be the actual gastroliths that's in our collection. I think we have a couple more, but this was said to be existed in the stomach of a Triceratops millions of years ago. And you see how round and polished they are? Now, let's see how good my gizzard, my Ziploc gizzard, those muscles contract, shorten in a sense, grinding, mixing the rocks against the coarse leaf of the collard green. But I love collard greens to cook down. Let's see what happened. And we put to see the results. I'll get the rocks out. You know, this would be fun to do with the students. Pretty good job. And I didn't really use the muscle too much there. It broke it down pretty well. Of course, we would want to chew it more than this, you know, so that we would get better digestion. You know, the stomach acids also act on our food to break it down even further. So we want to chew our food well. Us, like the birds who do not have teeth, they have to employ other ways to chew their food. Most birds, not all, including our prehistoric friends. They had to do the same, a similar thing. A bird's beak is a remarkable thing. Some of the modern day birds have on their beaks notches and spikes that may appear to be teeth, but are not true teeth because they're not used to crush down their food. Instead, these features are used to get a good grip on the prey so that it does not escape. In ancient evolutionary history, there were birds with true teeth. I mentioned earlier the Archaeopteryx. These animals are no longer alive today, but they are proof that birds did have teeth at one time. Birds' beaks can be dull or spectacularly colored, pointed or blunt, long or squat, thin or comically large. Birds aren't the only animals with beaks, but they're the only major group of animals in which a beak is the exclusive option. On behalf of Mr. Don, who's behind the camera, and myself, Mr. C, I thank you for joining us today and joining us for another Detroit Children's Museum video in the very near future. Have a great day. Bye-bye.